For a while, I watched the console wars basically in quote rage haha on, but for the most part, many never considered that at the end of the day, a simple mathematical reality was going to pretty much rip the console war apart. It's a very simple mathematical set of statements, which is 100 is greater than 70 and 70 is greater than 30. I'm going to constantly cite this from now henceforth. I even made a very highly sophisticated graphic on it so that we can continue to make sure that we put it in people's faces as the videos go on, so that we can maybe subliminally, maybe somehow teach a lot of folk that this mathematical reality could not be bothered about your feelings. In my last video, I said, for those PlayStation fans who've already sworn that if somehow PlayStation were to maybe take its games day one, which they're already doing, to PC, they were going to go to the PlayStation platform. They were going to move to the PC platform. I laugh in jest because if by this point they haven't moved to the PC platform, they're just basically blowing smoke. If you were going to go to the PC platform because of day and date, you would have basically made your way there, because here in like 9 days, one of the first single player day and dates is going to be going to the PC platform. I need to see your rage, and I need to see you on PC Part Picker. If I don't see you on PC Part Picker, again, you're blowing smoke. You ain't going to do nothing. You're not going to move to PC. I've had the conversation with hundreds and hundreds of you, and many of you have said that you prefer the console. So if you want to move to PC to play the games that you were going to play anyways, then by all means, you still, provide for me what I think is a very solid proposition and a very good argumentative point. I think I have you in a bind. I got an audience member make a comment, long comment. This is one of those things where, again, guys, this is educational. I'm not saying that I'm here to convince anybody. I honestly couldn't be bothered if you're convinced or not, to be honest. Because, again, like I said, the mathematical reality is going to pretty much come in one day and, in a sense, body, your fake arguments that you continue to give out here. They said, to one of my statements, let them go anyway. They will give you 70%. This is me saying that those people who say they're going to switch platforms, if you were ever to put your games day and date, I said let them go, because they will give you 70% when they play your games, because they bought your platform for the games, didn't they? Aha. Now, they said this. You will explain, but still none of them will ever listen. You will let your customers go after you've had them in your ecosystem just like that. Well, the reality is if the ecosystem cannot hold the customer, then the customer has every right to go, because the customers are the ones saying that they're going to go to PC. I'm not the one saying that. Like, I've been talking about this day and date thing, and it's PlayStation people that are saying if they move to, PC day and date, which they already are, they're going to move over to PC. I'm citing the customers. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying like they're going to go, and PlayStation isn't bothered that they're going to go, obviously, because they're still bringing games day and date to PC. They're going to be bringing a single player game coming. So they're not worried. I'm just literally telling the reality. I guess maybe because I put myself in that situation, in saying it that way, right? And so I'm getting this pushback from people who basically are, in a sense, wiser than PlayStation in the business sense. They said, bro, I know nothing about business. Me neither. I honestly could not tell you and say here that I actually know much about business. I only know about the rules and the laws, and I only see what Microsoft and, I see what Sony are doing. I see what Nintendo is doing. I see what Epic Games is doing. And I look at it and it's yielding them results. They're doing it legally, in many cases ethically. Sometimes they do things that I think are unethical, and they either yield results, but they eventually maybe come back to bite them. And that's all I'm citing on this channel. And they said, however, it's sad that people will fall for this crap you just spew, to be honest. Again, you're talking about somebody who is pretty much pointing out what PlayStation and Xbox is saying, somebody who is leaning on a mathematical reality and a mathematical fact that you choose to ignore. And that's exactly what's going on here. And it says maybe because none of them understands business. Guys, this is not a matter of understanding business. If a rando like me could actually envision PlayStation bringing its games to PC back in 2018, when nobody even could be bothered to listen, then I must say that those who are still in denial, like this commenter on here, they're the ones living in a delusion. I'm telling you, if all they can come at me with is saying that I'm spewing crap, then I don't need to worry, because the reality is already here. This is all just denial. Maybe I hope someone who understands how business is done and ever agrees with you will explain to me why you said that. Okay, the people who actually agree with me and actually are explaining it to you, or maybe not bothered to explain it to you, are exactly who I'm talking about every day, PlayStation themselves. You see, they didn't bother to tell you that they were going to basically break code and bring you a single player game to PC day and date. In fact, they broke code so hard, they didn't even bother to tell you or explain to you that they were going to bring the same game to a different and rival platform, Nintendo. So if you're waiting for somebody to come explain this to you while PlayStation is already literally doing it in your face, then that is a purposeful burying of head in the sand going on. It's just what it is. I can't be, held responsible for being the messenger of a message that you don't like. Like, it's one of those things where I'm literally the messenger. And then they say you love talking just to keep the YouTube money coming in it. In it is, are you Brit? Maybe you are, but in it is, kind of a British thing in it. If I don't know business and you say I'm finding a way to bring money in, you might be contradicting yourself. Keep it simple. Keep it consistent. Go with the paradigm that I do not know business, but to come back and compliment me, I guess I say it's flattery, or maybe you're making jest of me at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very fascinating set of conversations to have. I really do enjoy it. And I think if we stick with what the reality is, PlayStation is satisfied with 70%. In fact, they are now looking at how they can be reliant on 70%, because the 70-30, 170 rule, which is a mathematical reality, is one that it goes for every single game. If your players are buying your game, you're getting 100%, and then they stop and you need more 100%, and you can't get 100%, go for 70%. That's pretty much what the reality is. If you go for 70%, you will have 70% in your pocket. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how you get the 70% as long as it's legal, as long as it's ethical, as long as it's in a business-like manner and a pro-consumer manner. You're fine. You're better off. You reap the fruits of your labor. That's what it is. That's how life is. I telling you that the 70 and 30% thing is actually a reality and is a way that people can make business, I'd be a hypocrite if I was telling you otherwise. Let me tell you what's going on. You're sitting there listening to these PlayStation hyper fans that are on YouTube. What's actually ironic is they have to actually share their YouTube revenue whenever they make money. So let me go ahead and kind of maybe orient you to the business of YouTube. You see, when you give them a super chat, YouTube takes a percentage of it. The percentage is actually almost 50%. It's like 45%. So actually, in regard to them putting their content out there on the YouTube platform and making a percentage, they're making less than PlayStation would when PlayStation puts their game on Steam from a percentage perspective. They're making way less than PlayStation would when PlayStation puts its game on Epic Games. This is not about business. It's just raw math. So any YouTuber that tells you that a game going to PC or going to a different platform from PlayStation is an absolute liar, because they are hypocrites. They're enjoying the benefits of being able to make money at a higher percentage cost while taking your money, your chats, your views, your attention to tell you otherwise. If you've not deciphered this by now, then I hope that you probably do someday. The market has shifted. It's not concerned about your 1992 way of wanting things to work, but you will learn and you will grow. And I think that's what's gone on. And that's what I think is happening right now in the gaming industry. A lot of people are super discontent. I mean, I can see it. The PS5 Pro was out and man, the trials are about to begin. I'm just waiting. And I'm sure some people have already seen it too. But anyways, like I said, we're going to continue to talk about these things. We're going to talk about how PlayStation requires and is enjoying their day and date. They're loving it. They're loving every bit of it. They're loving every 70% bit of it. Xbox is enjoying it. Xbox has been enjoying it more than, lately. He's been enjoying it more than they have been. I mean, but they're getting 30% because 30 is greater than 0. I guess I should put that as the next part too, because if the game was exclusive, it'd be terrible, right? But this is pretty much how life works. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you all so much. Talk to me in the comment section. Hopefully we can chat in another one. Peace out.